Hello, Soulephant here, and I'm here today with an idea. So you know the Make a Good Mega Man level contest, right? Mega Man 1, Mega Man 2? If you do, you certainly know the judge reviews, which makes sense, or, depending who you ask, really don't. But, let me ask you a question. What if we get a review that doesn't make sense? What if we call in help from Google Translate? So, to explain, I took out a judge review, mangled it with Google Translate a couple times, and got some really hysterical results from what I've read. Which is what I will be doing. It's Yggdrasil's review, the one that Ace did, which has to be the longest review of Macmill 2. Anyway, if you don't know the review, I will link that below, and I'll also have this behemoth of a thing also in the description, so there's that. Anyway, let's get the review, shall we? I am not prepared for this, holy shit. Russian, Portuguese, and Corsican Ace says, "It was a very pleasing hope for Mega Man, which I never had. As a consequence of the permanent cancellation less than half a year ago, he tried a hard-earned Rockman 2, discovering a phone door with an old woman, more than Ova at a star, and yes, X7 and his father. I am happy to fight against Flame the Jinn again and again, with a total sound and not a repetition of this picture. Overall, I turned the core of the X7 with all the sound replaced by the Flame Hyanard vocal key. My friends, they look like journals. If you want to ignore each level in this competition, do it. I cannot underestimate how unequal. I was stuck in the level for over an hour in my first passages, and I had it every minute. This level does not start correctly. Someone get the text on the wall. I know, I'm sorry. Let's make this. Of 3 unclean characters, which are so strong that the player is not even capable of reading all of them. Fortunately, I do not have to sit down when I die, although it is always a lot of evil for some reason. On this screen, there is no Christian, and I am waiting for a long French pause when the play you open. What do you do with the roller, to which you must jump? The courtiers will meditate to see you, very much. In any case, we have their activity. Are you ready for the children? Calm, it's a long one. I started flopping. The blue segment. We have quick lasers, man. Well, because this will be a fast segment, not that bay. The fact that they are perfectly equally favored. Oops. So I waited a couple of seconds in the room above, and printed laser. No warning that this room will be dangerous, especially if an enemy was just in this room, which is time to get used. And it behaves! House of the Scene. Very original and distorted the money. At the beginning of the rules confusion, movement on the edge of the screen, and Mulatary the Lwarp on the other side. This is a very nice idea and can be this. Yes, there are no rules for this article. He did not touch me. The rules of this change are between the paths. On occasion you can safely be innocuous, and it may go on another. So basics for Scorini do not have them. Despite the process and the error, there is no way of knowing from when you have finished this trick, and instead you are sent to the chest. It is also impossible to say there is no good without moving on the heels. What do you need to have a variety of levels of the level so you have acquired for him? This road is possible without weapons. If you forget unavailable, you need to stop and use lasers that use flash stopper. What? What do? You can also get stuck on this object, be forced to shoot laser for a new one. Finally I got to the first of 3 heads. All 3 of them are very happy. But this is less confronted with their real problem, their attachments. Wow, spam bullet? It seems that the boss did not rhyme or reason. It was terrible, and this time, one of the most representative booty in the competition. I have not announced the enemy. They are male, they are so sweet. No one does Toho play. Megumin has a terrible scapegoat at the point of success, and much more. Like a climbing game, and I have food, essay, and shell of the masses. It's just not a pretty RNG like this. It was a road of the free. Oh no. Search fairly, use Yoku blocks. The main problem with this journey is the large number of deals at the ribs moment just to put on his pants. Usually not passwalks. Due to the process and the error, it is impossible to install when it must go in after, because the search may cause it to disappear, as is the fact that you need only. One day, I will do a lot. But the amount of time you have is unjust. Additionally, this road appears on the screen with a stunt involved in a way that would contradict the recent rate of the trick, as in a Salpatrunu in the middle of the intersection and blocked Yoku, only to wait for something to save you from falling into a theater foot. It may be good to say, it is almost impossible to say what is and is not a peak at this level, and how they can get as much as the level they want before. Most of the wrecks are Ponziorly, and it's incredibly hard to say that is not solid. Then the Greenway, mandate the basket as well. Having returned to the head with a sword. In any case, this employer may exercise the precedent. In the event of disgusting, it can at will stop the attacks when it feels a little or no announcement. And it is immune to these attacks. This is bad. In fine, it's not a blunt route. This cannot be. It's nothing to do with the grossing of the enemy's movements and puzzles flying everywhere. The head of this section is the only permissive one, but only this. He has 2 saloons and they are invincible for most of the battle. And guide, but it's done, and at least the game is a warning before the attack, even if it's not so much. Then your scene will be unforgettable, for the wrong things. But hello, at least it can be said, oh yes, Magmel 2, who had this picture Yggdrasil? Man, I do not want to see this new level. Oh my god, I actually did it. So yeah, it went from, it did translate from Portuguese to Russian and to Corsican, and then I read the first few sentences and I laughed. In hindsight, the next time we do this, I should probably translate it a little further before it happens, and also I should use a shorter review because my word, this one is long. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Still out.